every minute with the fever dreams. I push a mind to a limit where it needs to feed. I work blind, got vision I don't need to see. I'm picking mind over matter, I believe in me. I need to find more hours in the day to breathe. Need to find more power in the way I be. And when my mind turns sour with the painful scenes, I need to scream out loud, I can't stop me. I wanna be the greatest like Rocky. You know I leave them all hating like a hobby. I'm out here making moves like a lobby. And if you ain't with me, it's your loss. See, I got my mind on the facts, I'm a python, grab what I like real fast. Choke until I have everything I attack, everything that I lack, everything that I want, and I see, matter of fact.
Cause I'm my own worst enemy. Only if I let it be. I can control anything if I can just think carefully. I control my destiny. Deep up in my mind I manifest it. Every morning I wake up obsessed, and everything I do the best. And deep within my mind, you know I'll always manifest it. I'm my own worst enemy. Only if I let it be. I can control anything if I can just think carefully. I control my destiny. Deep up in my mind I manifest it. Every morning I wake up obsessed, and everything I do the best. And deep within my mind, you know I'll always manifest it.
What is going on, fam? Welcome back to another episode of the Daily Profits with TradeFly. Here I bring you some of the most important market news as well as technical analysis that you can actually use for tomorrow. And we got a lot to look at today. We had a very nice bounce for Bitcoin. We went down to about the POC. Really nice bounce there. We talked a little bit about that yesterday. And now we have to look again, because where are we going to go from here? If you're looking at all of the other traditional markets as well, looking quite nice. NASDAQ is up. SPX is up. It is all looking good out there. We're going to talk about that. Of course, we're going to hit the charts. We're going to look at some actual trade setups, because that is what we do here. So if you like that and you want the sauce, we're going to give it to you today. No doubt about it. I do want to point out a key level, though. We are getting to pretty much time meow with Bitcoin. All right, so we'll look at that. We'll try to look at some of the other stocks as well, maybe Apple, Tesla, some of the biggies here, some of the big tech stocks, and then next thing I'm gonna do here is give you guys a shout out. All right, so one of the biggest things I like to do is show the people some love, because you guys are why I do it. I tell you that every day. You are why I do it, no doubt about it. All right, first in the chat we got HJ Trading. What up to you, bro? Thank you for being here. He's saying moon it. Let's go. He is one of our paid analysts, and I will show you the Discord here as I get done with some of the shout outs here. We got Alexander G, the best mod in all of the space. By the way, sorry for blindsiding you guys. I just got some plans coming up. I'm going to hang out with the family a little bit. So times will shift. You know, I am a flexible individual when it comes to some of the times here with the show. Kelly Kell, what up to you? She said, hey guys, how are you? Deborah said, howdy. How you doing? Hope all is well with you. Thank you for being here. Crypto Ben, what up to you, man? Thank you for being here as well. Who else we got? I got to scroll up. You guys are just making the chat move on me here. We got all set. Said, moan it. Let's go. Who else we got? We got F-Bomb with a good morning. Good morning to you. And we got my dude, Crypto Squid, another one of the paid analysts. And again, I'm going to go over to our P&Ls here in a quick second and look at that. They are dropping some fire setups. I highly advise you guys get over there. And, I'm not going to show it too hard. I'm just going to show you some P&Ls, show you what it's about, and then we'll kind of roll from there. Rashad, hi, how are you? Good to see you, man. Thank you for being here, as always. Who else we got? Scrolling down. We got K Diggity. No doubt. What up, man? Thank you for being here. Appreciate you, man. Who else we got? Moo Jews. What up? How you doing, man? Came to get the live, a well-deserved like. Man, I appreciate it. Thank you very much. Much love to you, man. All right, I think I got you all shouted out. If I missed you, just let me know. Holler at me in the chat. Make sure you tag me, though. That way I can actually see it. All right, so we'll keep the shilling kind of quick. All right, I'm just going to show you guys a Discord here in a hurry. You don't need that. That ain't gonna do you no good. Let's go ahead and get over to my Discord. I am in Alex O's Discord as well. Obviously, we're very tight. We're good friends. So I do drop some content or some TA over there as well. So another place for you to find me. But for my Discord, this is it, man. So this place right here, all right, the danger zone, you guys are getting some free TA. All right, so we're all dropping TA. And we're not really holding back with just not the exact signals, right? Like, but you can figure it out if you actually look at what we're dropping, right? We're giving you the lines, we're giving you some of the zones here in terms of where the liquidity's at. Like, you can put 2 and 2 together. There's no doubt about it. Alex O's even in here. Alex O is dropping some TA and giving you some nice little setups here in the Discord as well. We got HRJ, FJ, and then of course our Trade Brigade. That's actually where you get the signals. That is $19.99. I think it's worth it. You have Piper's DCA plan on top of having the direct signals there. We also have Richard Berry over there. Got to get him on the show again. He's a lot of fun. But yeah, man, this is what you're getting, right? You get some of the strategies, and then of course we're gonna figure out a time. We're gonna do the lives here on a more regular basis. We're gonna set a time or a day for you guys, and hopefully providing you the value. The other thing is too, talked about this a little bit, 20% back on your future trading fees. I think you guys will get the money back in terms of joining. So that is that. We'll take a look at the P&Ls just so you guys can see that, man. These people are just dropping fire left and right. I mean, just from yesterday, a couple days ago, I mean, you got a 61%, we got an 80% banger right here. This is actually an FJ signal. And then you got JR, man. He is non-stop trading, man. That dude is wild. I don't know when he sleeps, but I mean, you can just see, man, these people are dropping bangers. Here you go. Here's another, I guess, FJ signal right there. And our man Crypto Squid is up 82%. I mean, wild, man. So, all right, that's that. We're gonna keep the shilling to a minimum. Come over to the Discord, check it out. I would appreciate it, and it would help us out. All right, so market cap, we are sitting at 3.33 trillion. That's up 1.95%. Fear and greed index is at 46 neutral. And the Bitcoin dominance is at 64.7%. Bitcoin itself is at 109,376. Now, I am looking for something right now. I took a little play. I was fishing a little bit. I was seeing if we were going to get a rejection. We didn't, but I may take a bigger play here. Not a whole lot of capital, but if we come up, we take that liquidity and we reestablish the zone, I might actually take a larger play here. Ethereum is at 25.33. Let's go over the bubbles. You know it's going to be a sea of green. Jasmine is down 2.7%. BCH down 2.4%. Surprising to see that. And then is it Flare? Yeah, it is Flare. All right, that's down 1%. Everything else for the most part is green. All right, it's looking pretty good. SPX, y'all, I know y'all love the SPX, man. That is currently up 12.2%, and Render up 5.6%. ADA, that's a good move for ADA. All right, I was getting a little worried there. I had a spot buy on ADA. That's up 6.8. WIF is up 7.4. Virtual's up at 9.8. I mean, everything's looking pretty good. 5% seems to be about the going rate, about the average there for the crypto bubble. So looking good out there. So what was I talking about here? I may take a little bit larger capital play here soon. Well, I got in a little early. I was looking at a trend line. I was trying to play that. It looks like that one's probably not going to work out too well. But what could happen here is we could push up and we could take this liquidity, which is at 1092. And I think that actually, let me update this because that may have happened. It did. Okay, so now we've taken that liquidity. Now, typically I wait. All right, I wait for this liquidity to get taken, and then I look for that rejection. So when we come over to the charts here, one of the things that I'm going to be looking for here is that we come back down underneath of this trend line. So this one, actually, like I said, this I might have to actually get out of this. So if we come back down, retest it, and look for that continuation, we may actually drive up to this area of resistance at about 10.4, 10.5. Talked a little bit about that yesterday. I did not see that coming so quick, though. I got to be honest with you. We got a really strong bounce off of the weekly pivot as well. You know, you got a lot of, like I said, there was a lot of support here, a lot of moving averages to hold you up, and they have done the job. They have held you up. Price did get a nice little bounce there. And let's actually update. I don't think I updated the fixed range volume profile. It shouldn't change much, but let me just make sure that we have the most accurate up to date. There you go. All right, so yeah, push right through the value area high. Didn't even look back, man. And the price is pumping right now. The price is pumping. So like I said, this might actually not work out in my favor. That thing is already down 13%. We'll see. We'll see if we get a little rejection there. And now that we cleared out the liquidity, I tell you what, a lot of times you will see that liquidity will get taken, and then you have an area of resistance, which we do. We do have that trend line. We'll see if it follows here. But you know, never know. You never know. It could just be bullish AF out there in the market, and sometimes there's just no pulling Bitcoin back. But it's looking good for the alts. It is, you know, dragging up some of the alts, which is kind of nice to see. All right, so let's talk about some key levels here. All right, we already talked about this area of resistance at about 10.5. You could look for a rejection there. Again, this is the trend line that I'm talking about, right? So it was respected. It has respected it, but now it has pushed through. So we could be changing the game. May have to go down to a lower time frame, see if we get that breakout retest. If we do, I'll go ahead and get out of this one. I'll probably be pretty close, but I may not be able to be in the positive if we get the actual retest there. So we'll see how that plays out. All-time high obviously is going to be an area of resistance here at about 112. We talked about this trend line. Legacy just goes back to the two highs at about 114. We also have a fib extension that takes you up to as high as 120. Okay, so we'll see how that plays out. Again, this has been the trend though. All right, this was the big concern yesterday, right? The trend was kind of working its way, lower highs, lower lows, pushing its way down. But that's a healthy little bounce there. Let's see. You know, one thing we didn't do was a fib retracement on here. So take the low to the high and 0.382. We talk about that, you know, bullish continuation. Didn't quite kiss it, but it was pretty darn close at about 104.8. I think it came down to about 105.1. All right, so not too far, about $300. And it was a nice little bounce there. So, I mean, right now it's looking healthy. The market is looking good for Bitcoin. But again, my concern would be is liquidity has been cleared out now. So we've taken the bottom side liquidity, right? We took that off the table, and now we're taking the top side liquidity off the table. We talk about that sometimes where it clears out both of these areas of liquidity and then ends up coming back and consolidating right in the range. If it does come down, I'm not looking for much of a move, okay? So I took it here right about at the trend line. I think it was about 108.6. I'm only looking for it to come down a value area high, previous day high, and that's it. It'll be a pretty quick play. Nothing too spectacular, to be honest with you, but I would like to see it. And that's about a 1% move, and I am A-okay with that when I got some leverage on there. Throw a little leverage on that thing, if you know what I'm saying. But that is about that. We did talk about some lower levels here. POC is currently sitting at about 104. Value area low is at right with some of your pivots. I talked about this yesterday. I was like, hey, this is a strong area to basically act as support. I think you'll get a bounce there. It basically front ran it. All right, so we got the current week pivot is really where I got that bounce. But again, you have support underneath of you. So there's support, there's more support, and then there's a third area of support before we get all the way back down to 98K, an area we've talked about. And then, of course, 95.2 was an area we talked about. So all things, places I would say mark on your charts, all right? 0.382 of the range here is at about 97.5, 98. That's a good spot. 95.2 is a good spot as well. You got some confluence there. You got the 200 kind of working its way in between those areas. You can see a bounce there. And then, of course, we talked about this area at nauseum yesterday, so I'm not going to beat it up too much, but the golden pocket as well as the monthly pivot and the quarterly pivot is all sitting in the same area. I think this is a high confluence zone where you could see a really nice bit of price action, and I think you take that at minimum back up to the 0.5 there, and then all the way down at about 79 to 80,000. We talked about this yesterday. There's liquidity down here, and I do have a limit order down here as well. Okay, so this is another area I think you could find a nice little bounce. You might have to front run it just a little bit, because that seems to be the trend. When we get those big pullbacks, it seems like they front run these areas quite often, where you have this kind of line in the sand, and you tend to be about $500 or less off of that zone. So it's almost like other people are looking at some TA, right? It is a thing. Let's go over to the USDT dominance real quick. Take a look at that. And we have talked about this area quite a bit. We have now officially broken out, it looks like, of this channel. Okay, so the thing though, the thing for you to keep an eye on is the 200 SMA. You can see multiple times, not every time, but quite a few times, the 200 SMA has been a key factor in USDT dominance. Don't know why that is, right? I don't know how relevant the 200 is, but I mean, all I can do is go by what I see. You are at a potential area where you could see a little bit of a bounce, right? If you see a bounce off of the 200 inverse relationship, that would drive the price action down for Bitcoin. So that was, you know, part of my thought process. Hey, we're getting up to a nice little trend line for Bitcoin. We're getting into a key area for USDT dominance. I was like, I'll do a little fishing today. A little fishing today. It doesn't look like it's working out for me, to be honest with you, but that is what it is. Total market cap, you still got some room to run on the total market cap. We are at a horizontal though. Okay, so understand that. We are at a pretty clear horizontal right here, time now, okay? So you can see very clear support, very clear resistance, support. You got it. You see it. You see what's going on here. We're there right now. Okay, but does it still have a little room to run? Yep, you got a little trend up here. I wouldn't be surprised to see it run up, kiss that trend at least before seeing it move down. But right now, as of right now, you are at an area of resistance for the total market cap. Let's go over and look at some of the other major... Actually, you know what? Before we get into some of the traditional stocks, the NASDAQ, the SPX, all that good stuff, let's go ahead and get into the daily degen. Let's get that thing going and see what you got. I'm sure you guys are mooning it. Yeah, you're 81% moon. Of course you are. Who was surprised by that? Not me. Let's go over. Let's get that party started. All right, here we go. You can see I got one going right now. Like I said, not looking great. Let's go down and find ourselves a poop-a-doobie coin. I'm gonna scroll down real quick. Scrolling. We've always had pretty good luck with Fartcoin. I mean, it's a pretty aggressive move for a lot of them. I mean, this is only the 3-minute. But you're getting a lot of divergence from the VWAP, the 200. Is what it is. This is what you want. This is what you guys want. This is what you have asked for. I will be a man of the people. We're only putting $5 on it. This is the daily degen. The daily degen, the way it works for you guys that are new here is I give the audience the opportunity to vote whether we go long or short. You guys are long AF right now. It's not even a question. You got 16 votes in, 81% moon, 19% doom right now. So you guys are expecting long. Again, it only has to play out in the next 40 minutes. Okay, so 40 minutes. Let's see what we got going on. This would be very interesting that I'm basically fighting a long and a short right now. I think that would be the first time. Nah, it's not the first time. We've done that before actually, but not as often. But here we go. We'll see how that plays out. Hopefully it works out. Let's go over to. Let's go back. Let's go back here. Let's look at the SPX real quick. Haven't looked at that too often here as of late. It's been bullish AF, right? Ever since that big pullback with the whole tariff scare, we came back to a very key level here at the 0.5, or pretty close to the 0.5, as well as a nice horizontal that kind of goes further back in the life cycle there of the S&P. But it has just been bullish AF. Now, this was an area we were looking for resistance initially. It broke through quite nicely, did create a gap. We never really truly filled that, and you got over the 200. So very important part of this is you got over the 200 and you got over this horizontal level here, and that's sitting at about 57.69. All right, so you broke out, you retested that area, off and away, and you're just riding the 21 up. All right, so when you get that bullish movement, riding the 21 up is pretty much what you would like to see, and it just really hasn't looked back for the S&P. So if you're looking for a zone of where, like, hey, where could I see a bounce for the S&P? I mean, because it's really hard. Like when it's looking like this, it's quite hard to take a position. You know, I mean, you could, right? If you're in it for the long haul, traditionally S&P, you know, continues to work its way up. I might take this a little bit lower here, just to the top of this zone, or not this zone, but the top of this, we'll call it range. It did kind of break out there, but what I'm encompassing right now is a lot of the highs. All right, so you got the high here, December 24, you got the high here, January 25, February, and then again in June of 25. So as of right now, that's going to be your area that you're going to retest first. Okay, so the 21 is just below, so that could be a little opportunity for you if you're looking for a shorter term play for the S&P, or if you're just looking for an opportunity to get in that's not at the current price, which is astronomically high. If you're looking for another opportunity, that's a nice spot. The 200 right now, you can see that has clearly been both support and resistance. It broke through with authority, came down, retested that. So you do have the 200 that's looking quite nice. And then of course you have this nice horizontal below you. That horizontal is currently sitting at about 57.92 all the way down to about 56.65. I don't see that happening here in the near term. I think your better play right now, this is going to be your first stop. And I don't even know that I'd really be all that interested in looking at a long position right now, just because of where it's at. You did get a reversal as well as a true 7 flash on the daily for the Prime Oscillator Pro. Okay, so let's actually look. Let's see the last time that we've had both of those flash together. That would be right here. So you did have a little continuation of the price action, ultimately before pulling back below where you had that flash. So could that be something that we see again, where we see a little push up and then ultimately a pullback below where you got that actual flash? It's very possible. It is very possible. But let me see. Was that setting highs? Yeah, that was setting highs. So even there, you still had a little push up. Man, the S&P is just, man, this was your opportunity. You haven't seen something like this for years. 2022. That was the last time you saw anything, and this was even more aggressive than 2022, to be real with you. So there's a couple key levels for you to look at. I did really like this one. We talked about that, just retesting the high of that range. But that's pretty much played out. So there you go. There's a couple zones for you to keep your eye on. Right now, S&P is looking very bullish. The structure is very nice. If you zoom out a little bit, you can see it, right? Nice little push up, little cool down, push up, cool down, push up, cool down. That is the trend. The trend is your friend till the end, and it's looking quite nice for the S&P right now. So can't really say much different, and just give you some levels to look at, if it pulls back. All right, so let's go over to the NASDAQ real quick. We'll look at that. We did come back to this zone. I mean, we were talking, and I think we marked this zone on the chart when we were right here at the top. Did come back and retest that zone. Okay, so that's step one. Retesting the zone, you did get a bounce out of the zone here, and that was at about 20,110 or so. Just retesting the top of the range. Again, makes perfect sense to retest the top of the range and then look for a little bounce out of that zone and look for continuation. I mean, that's all you can do right now until it shows you something different. If we do lose the range, if we do break down, I do like this level around here. So it's kind of shifted a little bit. All right, so I was really all about the 382 for the NASDAQ for quite some time, but the moving averages have moved up, right? Over time, they've moved up. Now, there is a gap here that would align quite nice with the 382. You do have the top of the range here. You got the bottom here. So you have support, resistance, and a nice little horizontal at the 382. So there was a lot of confluence lining up there to incorporate moving averages. So that was like a high confluence zone. I would have I would say a nice, I would feel good. I feel more confidence in that zone at the 0.382. Problem is, at this point, 200's moved up, 50's moved up. It's all moving up. you know, as the price action has kind of drug it up. So now you got to look at a little higher price point where you can see the bounce. And I think the 200 is going to be that spot. All right. So the argument to be said that, you know, when you're looking at, you know, this rejection right here, you could say it was due to the 200. And look, this is twice now, right? You look at the S&P, you saw how it just kind of like skipped over. You created a gap over the 200. So it broke through with authority, come back down. It didn't even, I mean, it was close. We'll say that's a retest. There is just a little bit of a gap there, but it was moving so aggressively. It's been very bullish. And again, the 21 is kind of like where we start thinking about a breakdown, okay? So the 21, it's riding it up, all right? It's been riding it up since April. We are now in July, okay? So that's one thing you're going to look for, all right? You have this horizontal level, the top of the range. You got the 21 moving up to intersect, basically, you know, add a little confluence to that area. If you lose it, that's kind of your key. That's your indicator of saying, okay, cool. Now we start looking at the 200. Where is that at? Does the 200 continue to work its way up? Does it now align with the value area low, which could be argued that there's some horizontal levels there as well? Very clear support. There's about 5 little hits there in that area where the value area lows. You did have a true breakout retest. That could be the zone for you. You know, you're just going to have to flex. You're going to have to move with the price action. You can't get always set in your ways. Like we liked the 3-2. We liked it. There was a lot lining up. Things are moving. The price is moving. So you have to flex a little bit. I think the value area low might be your new spot here. I think I'm going to take this off for now. All right. Because I think that as the price action continues to work its way to the right or at least up and right, your 200 is going to move up and kind of intersect where this value area low is, as well as this horizontal level. I think that's probably going to be a new spot for you. So what I'm going to do is just put a horizontal level there at about 19.1. We'll move it up just a little bit. Let's do 19.2. And the only reason I'm going to do that is so you get an alert. Really that simple. All right, so 19.2 is an area we will be keeping our eye on. Again, as the price action works its way down, if it does, we're just going to see how it interacts with that level. So if the 200 does work its way up and you get a nice little bounce in that area, it could be an opportunity to take a long position, right? Staying on top of the 200 and looking for a move up to at least the value area high or this horizontal level. I think the safer bet would be the value area high if you're looking at the NASDAQ. All right. That is that. We'll go back real quick. Let's look at, oh geez, the fart coin got upside down quick. Like I said, there is some horizontal levels. That's not looking great, but looking good for my my actual short here. So again, liquidity got cleared out. We're just kind of keeping an eye to see if it reestablishes the zone here or the range. Let's see. Ooh, fart coin. Yeah, I'm not surprised. Like I said, it had such a gap between the VWAP, the 200. Like if I was scalping, you know, it would have been super hard to take a long there. But obviously, we're doing the daily degen. It's only $5, right? So that being said, I think you guys did get beat up yesterday, but this one was funny. I didn't show you guys this one. So I did bananas. Remember I was talking about bananas? And I was like, it's just one of the words I use sometimes. I forgot about it. So we didn't look at it at the end of the show. I think this was on Friday, if I remember correctly. And I forgot about it. I went and checked, I think the next day, 171% banana. So you guys did win the daily degen last week. I forgot to show you guys that. Trust me, that will cover any losses you guys have this week. There's no doubt about it. I think that's our biggest daily degen, but again, we forgot about it. So it was an inadvertent win, but we won. We're gonna take that to the piggy bank. All $7 of it. All right, so let's keep it going here. Let's go over to the economic calendar, non-farm payrolls, unemployment rate, and services PMI. That is going to be tomorrow, July 3rd. Again, Piper Academy, go check that out. He'll give you the breakdown. The following week at FOMC minutes, core inflation rate month over month, year over year, inflation rate month over month, year over year. That'll all be coming out on Tuesday, July 15th. PPI month over month will be the 16th. And retail sales will be on Thursday, building permits on Friday. So there you go. That's what you got coming up on the economic calendar. We can get rid of that. Let's get into some of the news here. Michael Saylor says Bitcoin is money. Everything else is credit. Interesting take. it is an interesting take. And, one of the things that you can look at too, and that's going to be our FUD segment. So that's kind of a segue into it. Let's go ahead. I think that's the one that I pulled up. Let me double check here. Oh man, I don't know. We'll just go ahead. We'll sound the siren. We're going to be surprised together because I can't see the title for it right now. So we'll sound the siren, and hopefully this is a segue into the next segment here. This could blow up in my face. All right, let's see what happens. And of course, it is not the one I thought it was. All right, so what the other article was it was talking about, there you go. It was talking about the value of the dollar. It has, contracted quite significantly, obviously with inflation, all those things. But that does kind of lead into this, right? So what was very interesting when I was reading this, the FOMC members who see upside risk for both their inflation and unemployment forecasts is up. Right? Up significantly. Now, why is that? I really want you to think about that, because the data that you've been getting is saying that inflation is going down. But why does the FOMC members see upside risk to both of those? All right, unemployment, those numbers, we've already got those. Yes, those numbers were not ideal, but really what this all will lead into when you have both of the combination of those two things is stagflation. That, if you're wondering, why has Powell not cut rates? Yes, it makes it harder for us in terms of paying back any debt, which I think is a lost cause. I think that's just notional at this point. But that's why he hasn't cut rates, because of the fear of stagflation. And so that's something I want you to process and think about. It's like you're getting this data that's saying, oh no, everything's good. But realistically, the ones that are, really doing this and are in the know are still scared of what's to come. So a couple things there, right? The value of the dollar has gone down. The value of Bitcoin has gone up. We can agree on that, right? And so the thing that you start thinking about there too is okay, a lot of people, when you think about Bitcoin, you equate it to a value of a dollar, right? It's just instantly what you do. You're like, okay, cool, we're at 108,000, and that's the way you think about Bitcoin. But it is up, right? We are way up in comparison if you were to look at the dollar over that time, right? So if you go back to 2021, you're talking about what? It was 16,000 Bitcoin dollars, right? And now you're looking at 108. So the value of the dollar has just continued to go down. So that's kind of why, Saylor is so bullish on Bitcoin, because it is just continued to go up. I know a lot of people had that argument as a hedge against inflation. It actually might be. So I know in 2022, people were like, no, it's not, because, inflation is going up and we were in a bear market. So Bitcoin really hadn't experienced that throughout its life cycle that I know of. And so 2022 was an anomaly, right? You're on the backside of the vid. You're on the backside of a huge world economic event, right? That just crippled economies, and the U.S. obviously had to pay the price on the backside when they started printing money as well, right? So there was a lot of things. The FTX fiasco, right? A lot of people lost confidence in Bitcoin and in cryptocurrency during that time frame as well, in conjunction with a bear market. It was wild. It was wild times. It was the Wild West. People were leveraging user funds, right? There was a lot of stuff going on, dragging that price down. But really, now that things have kind of settled out and Bitcoin has become what it should be, I don't know, that there might be some argument to that too. If you read the white paper, I don't think Bitcoin is what it was designed to be at this point. I think it has become a true store of value. I think it really has become, that digital gold that people are talking about. So here nor there, a couple things for you guys to think about. I want to point those out to you. Let's go back to the chat. I haven't checked on the chat in a while. I'm gonna say what's up to you guys here in the chat real quick. I see some Crypto Princess in here. What up to you? Thank you for being here, lady. Hope I didn't step on you today. Like I said, I had some family things going on and want to be a part of it. It's bananas. BANANAS. Yes, let's go. I know the song. No doubt about it. Forgot to set a stop loss. Oh yeah, I mean, we do that on the daily DGen for sure. I just want to know Win Lambo. We don't do Win Lambo. We do Win Golf Cart. If you know, you know. But basically, the content creators that I'm friends with, we all say Win Golf Cart. And we actually use ChatGPT to design a golf cart for each of us. Piper has like a tank-looking one. I have like an airplane. Otter has like a freaking otter designed golf cart. It's actually quite hilarious. Billy Goattails, they have one with a goat on it. Obviously, it was fun. Somebody took a lot of time to make that picture come out right. All right, Andrea, what up to you? Hope all is well, lady. Thank you for being here. Let me see. Scrolling through. DDT. He said, I'm small. Yeah, I'm small short too, man. You got a better entry than me on this one. I took the trend. So, not looking great. We'll see how it plays out. I took the trend line. I was looking for a rejection off the trend line. No, even though I knew liquidity was sitting up higher, that's why I took a smaller capital. Sorry. Let me get the chart up here. I took a low capital play, but if it does reestablish below the trend line here, I'm probably going to add a little capital to that and look for a move down to the value area high. That's kind of what I got going on right now. Let's see here. Wix Wi-Fi 889. I didn't give you a call out yet. Thank you for being here, lady. Another one of our mods. Just cover it. Down to 93K for Bitcoin. Oh boy. Let me see here. 93K. Yeah, I mean, whew, that's a move. That is a move. That'll take you down to the 0.5 in really the low of this range here. But that would, man, you got to get through a lot of support first. You got to get through a lot of support. It'd be interesting to know what drives you to 93K. What do you like about 93K? Let me know in the chat. Let's see. We got Crypto Chef in the house. We pumping. My man, you know it. And of course, we pumping and I'm shorting. That's what I do, man. I'm always fighting the trend. Let's see here. Man. Just taking a quick look at the daily degen here. That one is upside down. It's like, it's really tough right now because I want to see the market dump, which would put this one upside down, probably get it liquidated, to be real with you. But I would really like to see some downside because I have an actual play here for a short on Bitcoin. So, sorry. All right, let's go back. Let's see here. Let's look at Ethereum. I don't know, did we look at that yesterday? I don't think we did. We might have, but we'll look at Ethereum and we'll kind of bounce back and forth between cryptos and stocks. We gotta diversify the channel a little bit. We gotta appeal to the masses. Whether we like it or not, TradeFly is way bigger than crypto. All right. There we go. Let's take that off there because, I mean, that's actually a potential short setup. You don't have to take it off there, but this is one of the setups we're looking at. Here's a freebie for you guys. Why were we looking at that? Well, quite simply, you have a lot of confluence here. You got the 200, you got the 50, moving average shift, POC, all lining up in one area, which you would like to see to get into this, right? This will adjust, right? This will adjust your risk to reward quite a bit. It's really, where's this wick going to be? Now, if you get continuation, no big deal. You don't take the trade. But if you see something like this right here, let's point this out to you guys so you can see it. There you go, right here. See this wick? There it is. And this could drive up a little bit further. Why do I say that? Well, one, there is liquidity here. There's no doubt about it. Resistance, 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 right? Liquidity builds. But you know that your last bit of liquidity is right here. You know it because this is where the wick is. Now, that's a pretty nice wick, to be honest with you. But if you get that wick up, clears the rest of the liquidity, reestablishes the zone, or it gets under the POC, you'll have to go to a little bit smaller time frames. Could be an opportunity here for a short. And then it's kind of up to you. Do you want to go to the value area low? Let's get rid of that, which is about 24.73. Or do you want to take it to the bottom of the range? Things are looking bullish right now. You know, it's one of those times where like, okay, cool, we got a pretty strong bounce. If you're looking at Ethereum right now, hey, we hit the low, nice little push up, pull back, cool off, and then go. You know, that looks pretty good, but we're testing a horizontal as well. If you get that break out of here, we could be back in the game for Ethereum real quick. Just based on having a nice little horizontal, you get a nice little change of character there on the daily. That would be actually pretty bullish for Ethereum, getting over the 200 and then getting a breakout retest. So let's get rid of that for now, just so we can clear up the chart a little bit. But what I'm talking about here is, hey, if we get something that looks like this, where it comes up, comes down, retests, and then you look for that continuation, that'd be bullish for Ethereum. And then, you know, back in the fight pretty quick for Ethereum. Everything is looking really good right now. Man, it's just green. It is green across the board. You know, I may be fighting a losing battle here by potentially taking a short. What I'm hoping happens, this is my my undercover hope, is that Fartcoin gets a little bounce, we can close that one out, and then ultimately we see a rejection. Try to win both of these today. That would be nice. So Ethereum right now, you are at a level of resistance 25.45. This is a big line in the sand for you if you're an Ethereum person, because like I said, you're looking for that change of character, that move up to the value area high. That move up, value area high, currently sitting at 26 and some change, about 26.60. That would be a nice little move, to be honest with you. This could be a potential play, right? So you may not get the short here. That we might have to look at taking a long here for Ethereum. It's just really, how does it interact with this level? And just so to understand like how I'm looking at, you know, a lot of these plays is I find these key levels, right? Like this one is very key. There's just so much going on right now for Ethereum. And then it's like, how does it interact with that level? And that'll drive me to whether we take a short or a long, right? So here we get a nice rejection out of the and back and reestablish underneath. I'm looking for the short. If we bounce, all right, or if we break through, get a breakout retest, then I'm looking for a long, right? It's really that simple. I try to keep it very, very simple, and that's kind of my approach to a lot of these trades. Find a key level, see what it does at that key level, and then take a position, and that's really what we're looking for. All right, so in terms of top side movement, we do have a nice little horizontal at 27.10, as well as value area high. I think value area high is the more prominent. We do need to update that. That needs to be updated quite a bit. All right, so there you go. Didn't really change much. So again, that's about where your resistance is going to be. And then of course, top side, this liquidity is off the table. Like really, your liquidity is actually, I'd actually say it's sitting right here right now. And we can put it as high as this wick right here, right? We talked about that. That's like your high side. Let's take that back. Let's get rid of this little circle. But really, your liquidity is right here where it's at. I think the bulk of your liquidity is right there where it's at. So, you know, that's something to keep an eye on. If you get a wick up, 25.80, again, come back down, could be short. So looking at, just zooming out just a little bit, you do see the trend right now is still kind of bearish overall. And I would say overall, if you zoom way out, then you're still good. But if you're just looking at here where we establish the zone for Ethereum, right, or this range, that's looking a little bit more bearish, right? You've gotten on the bottom side of this POC and you haven't been able to break above it yet. And so that's what you would like to see. So until we do that, I would say you're kind of bearish, really while you're under the 200. All right. You're close though. You are close. Let's see what else we got here. Let's go up. So I promised you we were going to go back and forth a little bit here. Let's look at Apple. Here you go. So we were looking at this channel. We've been watching this channel for Apple for a good amount of time, right? We're like, hey, there is that possibility of a breakout retest for that move to the downside. But I believe we talked about it last week. We're like, it looks like it wants to bounce. It looks like it wants to stay on the top side of that. And that's what it's done so far. Really, your play right now for Apple, now that it's broken through most of this resistance to the moving averages, right? You got the 50 in the moving average shift, and you got a bounce here. Looking for the 200. All right, so looking for the 200, I think that's probably going to be your first spot where like you run into some real resistance there, because you are on top of this zone here. And let's see how that kind of lines up with some of the horizontal levels. It's really tough because that's just up, right? Higher highs, higher lows. Not really giving you a real clear horizontal. I would say you could take something right about here potentially, but that's really just, I would say the 200. I would just keep to the 200 right now. Keep your eye on that. I think that's where you'll see a little rejection at about 222 for Apple. 210 looking good right now. Again, you have a nice area of support here. This is validated. Okay, so like if you guys are wondering like, hey, like is this legit? Yeah, it's legit. Okay, like you can see the interaction all the way up. It's just been riding this channel. Again, people say it's bearish, and we have that conversation again. This channel started, you could argue really here, but we'll say here at 58, all the way up to 210. Is this a bearish pattern? Yes, it will break out to the downside theoretically, but you tell me that's bearish. Again, we got to have words, all right? So anyways, riding this channel up, there's your area of support. If you didn't get into Apple, if you're looking at a potential entry for Apple, you could take a chance there at this area of support. Right now, it's just kind of working its way up. That's about 200, nice little psychological area as well. And coming back left on the chart, I do actually like the horizontal there. Let's actually mark this on the chart. The more I look at it, the more I like it. Right about there. Bring that up just a little bit to 200 because it's a psychological area. That's a nice little spot. I think if you're looking for an entry on Apple, about $200 could be a spot for you. Let's look at a quick fib retracement. Oh yeah. See? Here we go. Lining up with the golden pocket, man. That just makes it a little bit stronger. Makes you feel a little better about it. Really though, that play could have played out. To be reals with you. All right. Because look, you got 1, 2, 3 there. Let's get the oscillator. Let me bring up the main oscillator. I want to see what that was doing. Let's bring up the main oscillator real quick. Come on. There it is. Nice little push up there. Finally kind of breaking out. I would say though, like if you were looking for, you know, some kind of like bullish divergence, you weren't really getting it out of the oscillator, to be reals with you. Not the main oscillator. So this is RSI based, but not quite RSI. So take that back off. Clouds up my True 7, which I like better. All right, so that is Apple. Let's go back to the chat real quick here. See what you guys got going on here. Scrolling down. Hey, Crypto Princess saying hi to everybody. Thank you. I appreciate it. Same thing happened last year from May to July. I have to, what are you referencing? Just because I've talked about 3 different things. Sorry, I didn't come up for air much on the chat. Well, what are you talking about? NASDAQ? Are you talking about Bitcoin? Just curious, because I don't, when you put that comment in, I don't know exactly where I was at with the analysis. Hey to Ace, what up to you, bro? Stopped on my 2 shorts today. Yeah, I'm in a short, man. It's not looking great. Oh, hey, we're good here. So I'm gonna close that a winner. So there you go. That's a winner for the daily DGen. This could play out the way we were thinking. All right, I'm hoping. Let's go back to Bitcoin here. Not looking great so far, but there's still hope. There's still hope. So there we go. We won the daily DGen. We got that out of the way. There you go. Wasn't a big one, 6.43%. We're going to take that daily DGen for the win. Let's go. All right, so one down. Can we get the second one going today? We are just now looking for a little pullback on Bitcoin. We'll see. We will see. Let's go. We'll just go look for a little bit of an update here on Bitcoin. It's not looking great. We might have a little push up to this area of resistance. And because it's low capital, I may stay in this one. And then if we break this area of resistance, then I'll get out. Again, it's not a lot of capital. So I'm not too scared about taking it up. But the problem is, if we do take it up to this area of resistance, what I think is going to happen, you'll get a rejection here. I may actually ladder into that position. And then if it comes back down to this horizontal, right about where the liquidity was, where this trend line is, then I'll close it and get out and just live to fight another day. I won't even wait to see what it does when it interacts. I'll just probably ladder in, double down, bring the call spaces up here on a short, and then take it down to this horizontal, and then that'll be that. So small profits. We'll see. We may have to follow that one a little bit longer. All right, let's keep it going. Keep it moving. How you doing? Are we back? We're back on crypto, right? Let's look at Cardano. 10%. Let's go. All right, Cardano's looking good. We did have the buy zone here. We've talked about a couple times. Got a nice little bounce out of that zone. Hey, it's a reason for being in the Discord. I'm just saying. And really watch the show. We've talked about the Cardano, this buy zone here, quite a few times. You guys can validate that in the chat. No doubt about it. We gave you the zone. We gave you the sauce. All right, nice little bounce out of that zone. And really, this is more just looking at the horizontals. All right, because liquidity has already been taken off the table. We're just coming down to a strong little area here where I thought we'd see a bounce. And you can see, look, hey, True 7 got a flash here, and it's working its way up, showing you strength. All right, come back down for that second retest. You got strength with a True 7. Looking good so far for the Cardano play. This is a spot play, though. So I think I put about a G on that one. Nothing too crazy. But I think a realistic move is up to 73 cents. Another 22% to go for your boy. We'll see. There's going to be a point here as we break through some of these horizontals, though. I'd say if we get over 65 cents, I'm going to go ahead and move stop loss to entry. And that'll be that. So if it comes back down and retests that, you know, it could blow up in my face. We'll see. But I think this horizontal here, yeah, about 66 cents. Very clear horizontal level. We can mark that. We'll mark it here. Put it as an area of interest. Right about there. You know, I think that it's a little bit lower than 66. It's more like 62 and some change there. So that's about how I'll play that one. Get over top of that. I might want to get over the moving average. But yeah, I think if you get over about 63 cents, I think bring it up to see like a breakout, little retest of that zone or that horizontal level. You'll be looking for that continuation. And I think that's a safe play to go ahead and move stop loss to entry and then look for that continuation up to 73 cents for Cardano. So if you did take Cardano, congrats. You guys are looking good right now. It should be up about 10%. All right, let's go. Let's check out Tesla. We got all kinds of junk going on Tesla right here. Let me get back to the chat real quick. Please don't forget to click the likes. Yeah, I would appreciate that. The Dusty Hunt, what up to you, man? I was just saying, same thing happened last year from May to July. Check out the similarity from May to July this year. That's why I think down. Oh, okay, you're talking about Bitcoin. All right, that's what I was trying to figure out. Sorry, man. I probably wasn't clear when I was asking the question. So Bitcoin, I got you. Okay, we'll take a look at that. We'll look at Tesla, and then we'll go back and we'll look at that time frame. Be interesting to see, man. One thing, you know, I'll always do is like I'll listen to you guys. Like I know a lot of people are on here and they're just running their mouths. They're setting their ways, and it's their way or the highway, man. I am open. Again, I am a community-driven person, and I think we should collaborate, man. I think it makes us all better. You might see things on the chart that I never thought about or never even recognized, and I think it's just a good way to be collaborative and to. I think it makes us better. It takes some of the stress off of you too, right? Like you can't do it all. All right, so Tesla, what are we looking at here? It looks like a potential long position, getting over the 382. Oh, that one's gonna be a tough, because you want to reestablish the range, right? And now you're gonna have to bring this down, because really, price came all the way down here, reducing your potential risk to reward. You got to bounce, and you're really trying to fight with that range right now. That's tough. I don't know that I would take this right now. You're probably gonna have to see a little bit more of a move into the zone, which is gonna bring this down even more. You're gonna have to go to lower time frame. So if you're cool with a 1.6 or so, you might be able to take that. But I think it's probably something I'm gonna stay away from. Looking at it though, I mean, you definitely have a realistic possibility. That's if you're looking at the trend here, it did fall below this, but really, I mean, you could just as easy take it out. Man, that's tough right now to be real with you. I think it needs to push up just a little bit more to feel a little bit more comfortable about Tesla. You do have a very strong horizontal at $332. And again, I think, I won't say again, but I can see what I was looking at here. Looking for the rejection, looking to come down, and you want it to retest here. So that did not play out. Okay, so when you're looking for the breakout retest, right, very clearly just broke right down through that horizontal. That wouldn't have been a play. But again, you're trying to get ahead of price action. But right now, you're at a decent spot, and you just got to push up a little bit more. Get over that 200. You got a little squeeze going on with the 21, unfortunately, but I think there could be a potential opportunity here. Just looking at some of the price action, you're getting kind of a squeeze though. Like you're seeing almost like a symmetrical triangle develop right here where you're at. It's just, that one's tough. I'm not gonna lie to you, that one's a lot tougher now. You just didn't get that clean bounce off of the 382. You didn't get the clean bounce off of the 200, which, I mean, that, looking at all the horizontals right there, that was a nice little lineup. Let me get rid of the, it's just clouding it up right now. That is tough. So you see this in the opposite direction, right? We were looking at the NASDAQ. We were looking at the S&P. You know how you got that gap? So it pushed through a very clear area of resistance for the S&P and the NASDAQ. But for Tesla, it pushed through a clear area of support. So that's not quite ideal. The bill that was introduced, also not quite ideal for Tesla. If you guys are tracking on the big, beautiful bill, they're getting rid of the $7,500 tax credit for Tesla. That's going to be a hit because they're going to have to now find ways to cut costs so that they can pass that down to the customer, because you've now essentially increased the price of the car by $7,500 and maybe even $9,500 in some cases. In California, we had the $2,000 tax rebate when I got mine. I don't know if they're still doing it, but there was a $2,000 credit. So $9,500 is likely off the table. So that's something you really got to think about with Tesla here in the near term. Okay, so that bill that passed is not ideal for Tesla. And then, of course, mixing it up, being in politics, also not a great thing for Tesla, honestly. It's a little bit of negative PR, we'll say. So be careful with Tesla. I don't know that that's something I would take right now, to be reals with you. You got to be careful. But if you do see a little breakout retest, you know, the technicals are the technicals. If you see something like this where it comes up, down, retest, and then you look for that move up, this could be, again, an opportunity. But you got to see that breakout retest. So just be careful with Tesla. News is definitely affecting the price of Tesla, no doubt about it. And I don't think they're selling well either. I heard something today that the Model Y was the most popular car for a while there, and the RAV4 has now retaken the lead as the more popular vehicle in that segment. So. All right, that is Tesla. What do we got here? 9:58. So we got a few more minutes. Let's see. I'll let you guys pick one. Go ahead and pick one. Oh, you know what? We got to go to Bitcoin. Do that real quick. Do that for my man just covering it. Just cover it. Let's see here. What we got? Bitcoin. Not playing nice right now. Okay. So I believe you said May to July. Okay, so we'll go back to May, July. May to July. Okay. Just trying to get an idea of what we had going on here. Let's look at 24. Gotta go way back. Here we go. May to... Okay, so I see what you're saying here. Yeah, that was... So yeah, let's zoom out a little bit. Yeah, we were in this range for a long time. I think this was like 6 months or something, wasn't it? Something crazy. So very interesting, right? One of the things that I was kind of hanging my hat on when I was looking at this area before is, I know this looks different because it just stepped down. Basically had an area of support, stepped down, went down to the next level. This one was just kind of a steady fall down. but look at the time frame between the two of them. So let's do that just so to give you some perspective here. It's definitely a little different on the time frame because this one, I forgot how many days it was. I had measured all this out. Like we were very close to the two, like 34% drop between the two of them. It was actually the same. The time frame was pretty close. This one just looks a little different, right? It does look a little bit different. We've already retested the high of the range. It's losing steam, to be real. So for you to say 93K, like, I don't know that I'd really argue with you. Only because, like, if you're looking, the difference is very apparent, right? This is a very slow move down, you know, pretty normal. Structure looks fine. Retest at the top of the range. Off and away. 2022 high. Got it. Like, this looks pretty clean, like, in terms of that move up. Once you broke out with authority and just pops, right? But again, retested the high of the range. Yes, cool. We did that already. But, like, this is, we're already back in, or we've already, like, fell back within the range here. And even then, really, you're just sitting at kind of the previous high. So this does look a lot different in my mind. I think your 93K is very realistic, just maybe for a little bit different reasons. But yeah, man, I could totally see that. And again, I mean, you know, down here is really where, like, I'm getting a little bit more excited anyways. So, you know, that's kind of about 88 to 87. Not saying it's going to go there. I just want to be very clear on that. And we'd still keep bullish structure. I know it doesn't really appear that way, but you would. So it would just be a higher low, right? Low, low, higher low, and then another higher low. That would be fine. That would be absolutely fine. So yeah, man, I could see it, no doubt about it. You actually really wanted to hold that level if you're zooming out, only because that's like the low of the previous range, right? You've already retested the high of the previous range. You really don't want to lose the low of the previous range, because that's when it gets a little bit weird. That's when you start second guessing yourself, and then you're kind of like, okay, like, I hope it gets the bounce in this area. Vice just retesting the top of the range, where you feel a lot more confident about that. Like, we felt a lot more confident in this play right here for a multitude of reasons. But, you know, again, yeah, man, I see it. I just see it for different reasons. Let's see, where are we at? 10:02. Did you guys put anything in the chat? Let me see here. You guys on the Discord are amazing peeps. Thanks, man. Appreciate it. We try. Like, I try to just have, like, good people, honestly. Like, that's rule number one, be a good person. 109,601, is that what we're looking at right now? Yeah. Bitcoin's moving, man. I'm telling you, that short may not be the play. I may have been a little bit too aggressive and get in on that, just playing the trend line. But that being said, like, gotta be flexible, right? Like, again, it's low capital, so it's not crushing me right now. And what we'll look at is, okay, cool. Like, how do we interact with this level here, this area of resistance? And I can ladder into the position because I didn't use a ton of capital. It's okay. I can ladder in. I can basically, in this case, raise my cost basis, but you know what I mean. I would lower essentially my cost basis, right? Bringing it up to the middle here, and then just looking for that move down. And then I basically, you know, I change where I need to get out to be profitable. Now, if it were to continue to move through there, that could get a little bit more weird. Again, we have to evaluate what it does when it runs into this area of resistance, right? Like, if it just keeps moving, then we just close that thing out. We'll cut our losses, and we'll just move on and look for the next one. Very simple. All right. So let's see here. Let's see what you guys got. That Discord is fire. Thank you, Kelly Kell. Appreciate you. But it can definitely go either way from here. Sitting on hands for now. Yeah, I respect that. You know, I was just looking at the trend. Honestly, looking at the trend, hoping for it to maintain the trend. Grab that liquidity. I was looking really for a wake up, grab liquidity, come back down, reestablish. That's really what I should have done. What I should have waited for was for it to reestablish below this trend line before I took that short. I was just a little bit aggressive. So, all good. you flex from here. It's struggling right now. So let's see how it plays out. All right, let's look at one more, and then I'm gonna be done here. Get out of here, go hang with the fam. I think Riot was the one I wanted to look at here. It's been a while since I've done TA on that. Came down to 786, nice bounce. Let's get rid of that though. It's deceiving. Get rid of that. Get rid of that. All right, so $8.52 was an area I was looking at from a horizontal perspective. Did fall below that, but eventually once it got you that change of character, breakout retest, continuation got over the 200. I mean, it looks pretty decent. But you do see a kind of a trend here that, you know, I'd be worried about here in the short term. Just if you're in Riot, if you're looking at it right now, really what you're going to want to see is a breakout retest of this trend line before you want to take a long position at this point. Like if you miss this move, then you're a little late to the party, to be reals with you, for this particular move. So breakout retest of the trend, and then you look for that continuation up. And then it's just a matter of like how high do you think it'll go. Pretty clear horizontal, I'd say here at about 14.26. 14.26, I would say mark that on your charts. Just kind of looking at that right about here. Let me see, there you go. All right, so this is just looking at horizontals. All right, where do we see support? Right here, multiple touches. Ultimately a big move out of that area. And then we came all the way back up, right? So like you see, like this is a move you can get ahead of. So when I'm saying get ahead of the charts, look at the rejection that you got off of a very clear area of support, or was support, right? So what's your expectation when you come up and interact with that level again? That's really what you're trying to get ahead of. All right, let's see if we get that continuation of the move, we get a breakout retest. You know, ultimately what I'd be looking for is, hey, it comes up, retest, goes up, and then boom, and then you're looking for that rejection out of there. Okay, so that's kind of what I'd be looking for in terms of price action here. And again, it's not saying this is what's going to happen. This is just saying if we get the breakout retest, if then, all right, think of some of your trading in terms of if then. If we get this, then we look for a potential move up to this area of resistance here. That's where I think you'll see an initial rejection. What does that play look like? Let's even say you don't get in here, but let's say somewhere around here. Let's say it's a pretty quick retest. That's a 10% move, a 12% move. Not a bad move, right? And then you come back down, you'll probably retest these horizontal levels here at about 12.85 or so. So, you know, that's kind of what I'd be looking for in terms of Riots. But you do have a nice little zone down here. We come back to revisit. This could be a spot for you at about $8.52 in terms of, hey, take a little bit higher capital play. I think we could extend this out here. Let's update this a little bit. And I'm just looking at some of the horizontals again. If you guys don't know, I do like looking at horizontal levels of price action. Here you go. And what this would do is set a higher low. Problem is right now, like if you're looking at the trend of the price action, it is clearly down and right. So you don't want this to be a pivot. You don't want this to be an area where you see it turn around and start working its way back down, because then you got to start talking about it. You know, this looks like a double bottom, but what you really don't want to see is it get below and then you start setting another low. That would not be ideal for Riot. So very interesting. Bitcoin looks super bullish, looks great. Riot, not as much. All right, cool. I think I'm about to wrap it up here with that. Bitcoin is pulling back just a little bit. That's good to see for me. We'll keep tracking that. I'll keep you guys updated in the Discord. Come on over there, follow along, and then see if you can pick something up. See if you can learn something there in the Discord. Again, we got some really good analysts that are putting out some fire signals, dropping some green P&Ls all over the place. But thank you guys so much for being here. I appreciate your time as always. Please like and subscribe if you did think you learned something today. If you enjoyed the show, I would appreciate that. We're trying to grow here, and I'm gonna get out of here. So I hope everybody has a great day. As always, trade safe, be safe, and I'm out.
Even when you feel low, you can still go. Even when you feel slow, you can still go. Even when there's no hope, you can still go. I never answer to no, man, I still go. Go, 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 go. hustle every single day. I'll be making moves till I'm buried in my grave. To the system, I don't wanna be a slave. I've been doing shit my way, or the highway. And in the driveway is a nice range, cause I grind through the climb, I invite pain. You'll never hear me, bitch, nah, I don't complain. Just gotta flip the switch and you can go and obtain anything you want, anything you need. Your mind's got the key ingredient, it's belief. They'll deceive with the negativity, but I just slide right by that energy. Even when you feel low, you can still go. Even when you feel slow, you can still go. Even when there's no hope, you can still go. I never answer to no, man, I still go. Go, 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 go. You got a mind, but even that could change. You could flip the gray matter like some batter in your brain. That's why I say, fake it till you make it A. And if you play that game, then you just might make a change. Rearrange all the bad to okay. Take the worst thoughts saying, turn them to a game. Take the best thoughts saying, put them on display. On repeat in your brain till you're feeling no more pain. Never slow yourself down, you can do some more. Push past all the pain and you'll find a door. Open it up and finally explore everything that you thought you could never do before. And even when you feel low, you can still go. Even when you feel slow, you can still go. Even when there's no hope, you can still go. I never answer to no, man, I still go. Go, go.